What's going on, guys? JPS back for another video, and today we're going to be reacting to 12 things that just make sense in Germany. I can name one thing that just makes sense in Germany, and it's coming up in the next couple of months. It's the summertime. Summertime in Germany. It just makes sense. People walking along the paths, frolicking about in nature, nice little beer bottle being cracked open. That's the type of Germany that I romanticize for sure, and it's fantastic. So let's get into this. I'm hoping this is going to cover some of the nitty gritty details, some of the more complex nuances relating to German society, not the big things. We know. Listen, I already know they're going to say people stop at the crosswalks. Okay, but let's get deep. Let's get deep. Here we go. Also, guys, perfection. Check out first link in description. Very cool merch. Speaking of German culture, I'm really proud of this stuff. It's awesome, and we'll definitely get some looks if you're standing at a crosswalk in Germany. So check it out. No pressure though. I appreciate all you guys for supporting me. Let me know your thoughts on the designs in the comments as well. And yeah, let's get right into this. Here we go.
There's a country in the heart of Europe where people wait patiently at crosswalks, even when no cars are in sight. Separate their trash like
Sorry to pause so early. That's not true. Listen, when no children are in sight, that's what the sentence should have been.
Separate their trash like it's a competitive sport, and somehow manage to have hundreds of different types of bread. And what seems obsessive to the rest of the world feels completely natural to the 84 million people who call it home. Because in Germany, everyday life runs on a kind of logic that outsiders rarely see coming. Most visitors arrive...
Berlin Hauptbahnhof station, massive. It's like an airport.
That outsiders rarely see coming. Most visitors arrive expecting efficiency and engineering. Maybe a few castles, definitely some beer. But what they actually discover is a society built on systems so practical, so well thought out, that once you understand them, you start wondering why the rest of the world has not caught on. Some of these habits seem strict at first, others feel almost too clever to be real. But behind each one is a reason that makes perfect sense once you know the story. These are not random quirks. They are solutions, refined over generations, and woven into daily life so deeply that Germans barely notice them anymore. And that is where things get fascinating. Because the first thing that shocks most newcomers is not the language, the history, or even the food. It is the bottles.
Yo, honestly, stop showing so much German beer in the B-roll. I'm going to start salivating. Please. Oh my God.
System. Walk into any German supermarket and you will notice something unusual near the entrance. A machine swallowing empty bottles and spitting out receipts like it is running a tiny recycling empire. This is the PF&D system, and it changes how people think about packaging entirely. Every bottle and can carries a small deposit, anywhere from a few cents to €0.25. You pay it when you buy the drink. You get it back when you return the container. Simple, efficient, and wildly effective. The machines scan each item, calculate the total, and print a voucher you can use at checkout. It becomes second nature so quickly that returning bottles feels less like a chore and more like collecting small rewards scattered around your kitchen. What looks like a minor inconvenience actually drives one of the highest recycling rates on the planet.
Wow.
People do not toss bottles in the trash because that is literally throwing money away. And the result is streets that stay cleaner, landfills that fill slower, and a system so logical that visitors wonder why their home countries have not copied it yet.
Facts.
Online, you will find endless discussions about how other nations could implement something similar. And every time, someone points out that Germany already figured this out decades ago. But the German commitment to order does not stop at recycling.
Oh my God, every time they show Deutschbahn trains, I giggle a little bit on the inside. But the recycling program in Germany is so admirable and something that I wish we could replicate in the United States. Guys, honestly, I feel bad a lot of the time when I go around and just see how much trash and waste there is scattered among our streets. And then I think about how diligent you Germans are with your recycling habits and waste management. And I'm like, these people are across the Atlantic Ocean putting so much, time and effort into, which of course to you guys is second nature, so it doesn't feel like that. But you guys are putting in so much more effort compared to us when it comes to recycling and preserving the planet. And I like sometimes just like, wow, I just feel like so shitty because we're so wasteful with our habits, and people around the world are trying, and it's like I wonder if you guys ever feel that way as Germans. You guys are definitely the top of the class when it comes to recycling, I would say, around the world. Do you ever feel like, damn, why doesn't like why am I even doing this if no one else cares? Or like I'm not saying you're gonna stop doing it because that's like the standard, but do you ever have those types of thoughts where it's like they're not doing this type of stuff over it? Because we're not doing this type of stuff in the United States, and there's a lot of people who use there's so much single-use plastics. We started using paper straws, but the plastic water bottles are the massive problem. A lot of people come from countries where they didn't have clean water because, of course, we're a country built on immigrants, despite our leader trying to pretend we're not. Anyways, uh, so people just drink water bottles. They buy like 100 water bottles every time they go to the store, and it's like maybe we should try and get some cleaner water because some of the water over here is not safe. That's a whole nother rant, though.
It shows up in places you would never expect, including one day of the week that feels like stepping into another world. If you've never experienced a German Sunday, you're in for a surprise. Shops close, lawnmowers stay silent, construction sites sit empty, and the entire country seems to take a collective breath. The streets feel different, calmer, almost sacred in a secular kind of way. These quiet laws, known as Ruhezeit, protect Sundays as a day of rest.
That's so good.
It's not just tradition, it's actually enforced. Try vacuuming loudly in an apartment building on a Sunday afternoon, and you might get a polite but firm knock on the door. Start drilling into a wall, and you could find yourself explaining to neighbors why their relaxation matters less than your home improvement project. The social pressure alone keeps most people in line. To outsiders, it can feel extreme, restrictive even, but to Germans, it makes complete sense. One guaranteed day where noise fades, stress pauses, and people can actually recover before the week starts again. Families gather, people walk through parks, the rhythm of life slows down in a way that feels almost revolutionary in our always-on world. In a society that never stops buzzing, Germany carved out 24 hours of protected silence. And once you experience it, the constant noise everywhere else starts to feel like the strange choice. The Apprentice.
I love this about Germany. This Sunday relaxation and reset for the week. Honestly, guys, Sunday is the hardest day of the week for me. Like straight up, the existential dread that just consumes me on Sunday. I know I'm sounding quite dramatic, but that's how it feels. It feels like there's a black hole inside of me. I'm like, oh, we're going into another week, and I have all these feelings and thoughts, and it's like I have to sit here with them. And the United States, it's not a uniform, carved out relaxation day. A lot of people are working on Sunday. It feels like a regular day. It feels like you're meant to be relaxing, but it also feels like you're being lazy if you're relaxing. Like we're stuck in between. So having a dedicated relaxation day, no guilt, man, I think that would work wonders. But in the country where work is king and it's all about rising up, I think some people will be like, oh no, they're lazy. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Sundays, though, that should be a chill day.
Ship system. While many countries funnel teenagers straight into universities or leave them drifting through dead-end jobs, Germany built something different. The Ausbildung system combines classroom learning with real-world training, and it's been running successfully for centuries. Young people don't just study theory in isolation. They work alongside professionals in real companies,
Wow.
earning actual money while gaining skills that employers desperately need. The training can last 2 to 3 years, and by the time apprentices finish, they're not just graduates clutching degrees. They're qualified workers with years of hands-on experience and professional
Yes.
connections already built.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons manufacturing and craftsmanship in Germany carry such a strong reputation worldwide. The system treats skilled trades with the same respect as academic careers,
Bro.
and the economy reflects it. Low youth unemployment, high-quality standards, a workforce that knows what it's doing from day one. While other countries debate how to bridge the gap between education and employment, Germany has been quietly proving for generations that the bridge does not need to exist if you build the path correctly from the start. Free university education. Speaking of education,
Guys, I'm about to pop off because I graduated uni last year. I'm not using my degree at all. And I have tons of friends who are trying to, but they can't get a job. You don't need to cross a bridge if everything's already on your side. When you're working alongside the learning, you're literally already integrated into the workforce. So you finish you graduate and you got a job. Probably not that simple, but in the United States, we put education at such a premium. Like if you're doing blue collar work, craftsmanship, carpentry, handyman type of stuff, you're seen as like a scrub. It's like lower income, not always lower income. These guys make good money, but the status associated with that turns a lot of people off. And then they chase that white collar life, the education and all that, when the whole time they should have just been doing, the blue collar stuff. We got so many kids who could have been great mechanics, truck drivers, building furniture, starting their own businesses. I don't know. There's a million things. Instead, they go to uni, and it's not free in the US. It's not free. So then they get in $200,000 of debt, which is not an exaggerated number. For 4 years, that's a pretty standard price, $50,000 a year. And then you can't even get a job after you drop 200K. Guys, a lot of our recent graduates are in this position. Imagine how they feel. Hellscape in the United States for recent grads. Oh, it hurts. It really hurts. You put in all that work and nothing. They're working at Starbucks. It sucks.
here is something that absolutely shocks visitors from countries drowning in student debt. Public universities in Germany charge almost no tuition for citizens and international students alike. Yes, really, the idea is straightforward.
You just need to speak German. I mean, it's not even the money. It's literally just a language barrier. Way better.
Education benefits everyone, so everyone should have access. Instead of starting adult life buried under mountains of loans, German graduates enter the workforce ready to contribute, build families, buy homes, and participate in the economy without decades of debt hanging over their heads like a storm cloud.
Is this kind of a fabricated reality? Is he like trying to make it seem so amazing? Or for those of you in Germany, like, is the situation really that good where people can, go in, work, learn, be an apprentice, and then they get a job? Of course, there's going to be some unemployment, but is it like, it's really that good, guys? How do you feel? What was your experiences? Let me know.
Critics from other countries sometimes question how it works financially. Surely someone has to pay, and they are right. Taxes fund the system, but Germany figured out that investing in education up front means the returns show up in a more skilled, more productive, more innovative society down the line.
Exactly.
It is the kind of long-term thinking that makes perfect sense once you stop treating education like a luxury product and start treating it like infrastructure. Now for something lighter, literally. Germany has over 3,000 officially registered types of bread.
Jesus
That's not a typo.
Christ.
3,000.
3,000.
From dense, dark rye loaves that could double as doorstops to crusty rolls that crackle satisfyingly when you bite into them. Bread here is not just food. It is a cultural institution protected and celebrated like fine art. Bakeries sit on nearly every corner, often family-run operations that have been perfecting recipes for generations. Germans take their selections seriously. Arguments
yeah.
about which bakery makes the best Brötchen can get surprisingly heated. The variety
A
exists.
15-minute argument over bread? Really? Is that what's happening, guys? Some of you guys I know, you probably make your own bread as well. But yeah, the German bakeries. Mm. Oh my God, it's so good.
Because
Oh,
different regions developed their
ooh,
own styles over centuries, and nobody wanted to give theirs up. What looks like an obsession is actually the result of deep local pride and a stubborn refusal to settle for boring, mass-produced mediocrity.
bullshit.
Once you have tasted a proper German pretzel fresh from the oven, still warm, with that perfect balance of soft interior and salted crust, supermarket bread anywhere else starts to feel like a sad compromise you never noticed you were making.
Facts.
Here's a habit that confuses almost every visitor. Germans open their windows wide for a few minutes several times a day, even in the depths of
Really?
winter when frost coats everything outside. It's called Stoßlüften, and it's practically a national ritual that gets passed down through generations. The logic is airtight, pun intended. Homes here are built to be energy efficient, sealed tight to keep precious heat in during long cold months. But that also traps moisture, cooking odors, and stale air that builds up throughout the day. So instead of leaving windows cracked all day long and hemorrhaging expensive warmth, Germans blast fresh air through quickly, 5 to 10 minutes of wide open shock ventilation, and then seal everything back up. It works brilliantly. Mold problems stay rare. Indoor air stays fresh. Energy bills stay dramatically lower than they would with constant ventilation. And
Wow.
once you understand the reasoning, leaving a window cracked for hours while your heating system fights to compensate starts to seem like the genuinely wasteful choice. 7.
That's
Cash culture.
100% true. So not only is it good for the environment, but that also must feel really good to let the air in. I need to do that more often with my windows. Like let the air in once every week, maybe if on a good week. So it gets quite stuffy, I would imagine. Yeah, definitely need to open the windows more. Thanks for that. Oh
In an
no.
age of tap-to-pay and digital wallets, Germany held
Yep.
on to cash longer than almost any other wealthy nation. Restaurants, shops, even some larger stores prefer cash. Cards are possible sometimes, and other times, not at all.
Nope.
Nur Barzalung still appears in windows across the country. It is changing slowly now, especially after recent global events pushed digital payments forward. But the original preference reveals something deeper about German culture and history. Privacy matters here. Deeply. The idea of every single purchase being tracked, recorded, analyzed, and potentially used by corporations or governments does not sit well with a population that remembers, sometimes from direct family experience, what surveillance and data collection can lead to when taken too far. Cash leaves no trail. It is simple, anonymous, and completely under your control. What looks old-fashioned to visitors is actually a conscious philosophical choice about data ownership and personal freedom. Sometimes the old ways are not outdated, they are just principled. 8.
I agree. So I wonder like how hard Germans are fighting right now to keep cash the king. Because I know you guys want that privacy, but as the world, we're using technology more and more. So these payment systems being electronic, how is that clash working? I'm sure it's been accelerated over the past year or two. So what's gonna happen? Are you guys gonna fight and just it's gonna be cash only still? Because I mean, I guess cash will always be an option, but what if it's not? Because cash is there's places here where cash is not an option and it's all electronic. So then you just boycott and don't go to those places. I don't know. I think this is a discussion for like a decade, hopefully like several years, because Germany is deeply rooted in its principles and they're not just going to shake like that. You know, like that's what also what I love about Germany and not just Germany, but Europe as a whole is like it's been around for so long. So change takes time. It does take time, especially like fundamental changes. You can go to some village in Germany and like everything's going to look pretty much the same that it did last year and the year before. I'm not saying that you guys aren't improving or leveling up, but I think there's like something amazing about that. It's not just like oh, a new building's going here. Oh, and we're changing this and this and this, and then everything feels different. Feels very similar. I like it.
The Autobahn. No list about Germany would be complete without mentioning the highway system that fascinates the entire world. Yes, large sections have no official speed limit. And yes, it somehow works without descending into chaos. But here is what people miss when they focus only on the speed. German drivers go through rigorous, expensive training before they ever touch a steering wheel unsupervised. Licenses are genuinely difficult to earn, costing thousands of euros and requiring extensive practice with professional instructors. The cars themselves undergo strict, regular inspections. The roads are maintained to engineering standards that would make transportation departments in other countries weep with envy. The Autobahn is not chaos. It is controlled freedom, built on a solid foundation of preparation and responsibility.
It's funny how it's stereotyped to be so chaotic. Like, oh my God, everyone's going so fast. But when you actually there, it's like, I mean, it's so structured with everything. And it's balanced out. Like, it's honestly one of the safer highway systems to drive on, probably. And I saw a video yesterday of someone getting pulled over for speeding in the United States. And when the officer came up to the window, he was like, I'm so sorry, you know, I'm from Germany. I'm used to the Autobahn. Then the officer busts out some German and then he lets him off with a warning. So really good excuse. If I ever get pulled over for speeding, I'll just say, I'm sorry. I'm used to driving on in Germany on the Autobahn, even though I've never been on it. So hopefully the officer's not German and doesn't try to fact check me. Anyways.
Everyone on that road earned their place there and knows exactly what is expected of them. The system trusts drivers to make good decisions because the system made absolutely sure they were ready first. It is not about recklessness. It is about competence. Health insurance for everyone. Healthcare debates rage endlessly in some countries, tearing through elections and dividing populations for generations. Germany settled the question over a century ago. Everyone has health insurance. It is mandatory, and despite the complaints, it works. The system balances public and private options, ensures coverage regardless of employment status, and keeps costs reasonable through negotiation and regulation. Germans do not lie awake worrying about medical bankruptcy. They do not avoid going to doctors because of bills waiting on the other side. They just go when they need to, get treated, and move on with their lives. It is not perfect, and Germans absolutely love to complain about wait times, bureaucracy, and which treatments get covered. But compared to systems where a single hospital visit can financially destroy a family, those complaints start to sound almost charmingly minor. Remember those PF&D machines?
No, not almost. Like, they are minor. If you guys, anytime you have a poor experience with German healthcare, and also healthcare is impossible to tackle perfectly. Every country is going to struggle with that to some degree. But anytime, you know, there's a long wait time or treatment is a little pricey and they should be covered more, whatever, think about us and then you'll feel a whole lot better. It could always be worse. And not just worse, like significantly worse. It could be hell almost.
That is just the beginning. German households typically sort their waste into multiple categories: paper and cardboard, plastic and packaging, glass separated by color, organic waste for composting, and everything else that does not fit neatly anywhere. It sounds exhausting until you realize the entire infrastructure is designed around making it easy. Color-coded bins sit in every building. Clear guidelines explain what goes where. Collection schedules run like clockwork. The result is a recycling rate that puts most countries to absolute shame.
This is what I'm telling you guys. Look at our recycling rate. It's worse than everyone else on the chart. Man, you guys are almost at 75. We're sitting at 25. I told you, it's so embarrassing. Oh God, this hurts right here. This really hurts. Like, we're dragging everyone behind. We're like dead weight when it comes to, you know, keeping the earth healthy and climate change. Oh.
What seems obsessive from the outside is actually just organized from the inside. Once the system exists and everyone learns it, following along becomes second nature. The effort required drops to nearly zero, and the environmental benefits compound year after year. Punctuality as respect. Germans have a reputation for being on time, and it is not exaggerated for comedic effect. Trains run on schedules measured in individual minutes. Meetings start exactly when they are supposed to. Showing up late is not fashionable or casual. It is genuinely considered disrespectful. The reasoning is beautifully simple. Your time matters. So does everyone else's. Being late communicates, whether you intend it or not, that you value your own schedule more than theirs. In a culture built on efficiency, planning, and mutual respect, punctuality is not social pressure. It is basic courtesy extended to everyone you interact with. And when the trains do run late, Germans complain about it with a passion that can seem almost comedic to outsiders. In a system built on reliability, even small delays feel like fundamental betrayals of the social contract.
Yeah, maybe they did back in the day, but it's become such a normalized thing now that if you get that angry every time a train is late, you're gonna burst into flames at some point with all that anger pent up. I think Germans have kind of accepted that the punctuality thing is still possible, but what can I do? My train was late. I'm sure you guys say that a lot. That's why I started laughing. I'm sorry. Hey, when something's rough, all you can do is laugh sometimes.
12. Waiting at crosswalks. And finally, the habit that baffles tourists more than almost anything else.
Yeah,
Germans wait for the green
crazy.
light at crosswalks, even at 3 in the morning on an empty street.
No, I don't know about that's great. No one is waiting at 3 in the morning. If there's no cars and no kids, cross that damn road. Come on, guys.
Even when no cars are visible for miles in any direction. Even when it seems
bullshit.
completely, utterly pointless. It's not blind obedience to rules for their own sake. It's about something bigger, setting an example. Children learn traffic rules by watching the adults around them. If everyone jaywalks whenever convenient, kids learn that rules are merely suggestions, optional guidelines to ignore when nobody is enforcing them. If everyone waits patiently, kids learn that safety matters more than saving 30 seconds of their day. What looks like unnecessary rigidity is actually a small daily investment in collective well-being.
And also, that probably has like a waterfall effect on a lot of other things when it comes to following rules and staying in order as children are growing up. If they can maintain that, crossing the road, I mean, it's going to have an effect on a lot of other things when it comes to safety as well.
A recognition that individual actions ripple outward and shape the system.
Exactly what I just said. Yes, it's more than crossing the street. And I didn't understand that at first. Yes, I like that.
Society everyone shares. And once you see it that way, rushing across an empty street just because you can starts to feel a little selfish.
It does.
When you step back and look at all 12 of these habits together, a clear pattern emerges. Germany isn't just efficient for the sake of efficiency. It is a society that thought carefully about how systems shape behavior, how small choices compound over time, and how investing in structure today pays dividends tomorrow. The recycling works because the system makes it effortless. The roads are safe because the training is serious. The Sundays are quiet because rest actually matters. None of it happened by accident. All of it makes sense when you understand the thinking behind it. And maybe that's the real lesson. The things that seem strange about other cultures often turn out to be elegant solutions to problems we just haven't noticed yet. So the next time you hear someone mention Germany, you might think about cars and
Oh, yeah. This is the German summer right here. Nice cold beer. Oh, yeah. That's it right there.
castles and beer. But behind those famous images is a country full of small, brilliant systems that feel completely normal to the people who live there and absolutely fascinating to everyone else. And there you have it, 12 things that might seem unusual at first glance, but make perfect sense once you know the story behind them.
All right, buddy. That was a nice video, guys. It'll be linked down below. Yeah, that was fantastic. It's almost like if you plan then good things will happen if you plan for good things. Just like how you guys plan out your socializing and activities in your free time. If you don't plan, it's going to be hard to do things, you know? You got to plan and keep other people's schedules in mind. And this is also just living as a collective society, nobody left behind type of mentality. That just puts everyone up. It boosts everyone up. And you guys are living good together. So Germany is a country that sets great examples in so many ways, and I think is potentially centuries ahead of other major countries. Yeah, I don't know what the hell we're doing over here, guys. I'm so sorry about the recycling thing. Oh, wow. At least somebody cares, though, and at least you guys are doing a great job. So, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.